let's get to the Caleb Williams part of this, man, that I felt was a massive overreaction. There's been a lot of people, oh, he's taking a massive step back. He's regressing. Look, I'm not trying to shoot him any bills. It's gonna sound like I'm shooting the Bears a lot of bills today, which I'm not trying to do. Which I'm not trying to do whatsoever, by the way. He has played like shit for 7 out of the last 8 quarters. But I think he's just going through the progressions of an actual rookie quarterback, and it looks a little bit worse because you got dumbass coaching. I think that there's nothing that I've seen that has been overly concerning to me. On a scale of 1 to 10, it will be a 4 as far as my concern level. And when you say regression, that means he got super high to the point where you're concerned about how he's playing right now. He has the typical rookie up and downs that I've seen, in my personal opinion. If you can take anything from it, he hasn't thrown an interception in like a month damn near, which is good. But I think the stuff that you're seeing, even if he is picking up bad habits, which is something that we picked up, it's not bad habits that I feel can't be fixed. I think a lot of the problems that he has sometimes even ain't on the coach staff. Some stuff is just as simple as Caleb. I know you don't like running, but run. If there's an open path to run. He do this thing that annoys me that I used to do on Madden when I couldn't find a receiver open. I just keep running to the side until I find a nigga open. That's what Caleb does consistently. He's got to stop that. He's got to take more of the singles, the doubles, instead of going for the home run. In the 3-4 game stretch, he was really good. He took the layups. Take the layups. Now he's going back in the USC mode. And I do think a lot of this is the offensive line. We see when Caleb actually has time to throw, he's really, really good. So I won't say that it's regression, because to me, when you use that word, maybe that's just how I take it, that means that he was already at the point of really, really, really improving, and now he's dropped all the way down. To me, he's doing a usual rookie curve, but I do think that if the season continues to go the way that it's going, and you don't get rid of Eberflus and Shane Waldron, then I'm concerned. But as far as what I'm seeing right now, it's ugly football for sure, but it's nothing that I'm looking at it as a major red flag.
Oh, yeah. No, see, go ahead, Dante. Go ahead, Dante.
And I agree with you, and Ryan Clark made a very good point. How can we call it regression when he doesn't even have a year on film yet? Like, yeah. I think it's too much, and it goes back to what we said our biggest issue with Justin, is that we microanalyze everything. Every single throw that man made was, well, he missed somebody here. Well, he missed him over there. He did this over there. And we're doing the exact same thing with Caleb. I know we got excited that he lit up 2 weak-ass teams, but, I mean, at the end of the day, he lit up 2 weak-ass teams, and we've seen that.
But you also want to see him do that, though.
No, you do. But at the same time, it's kind of like last year when Justin had that really good game. I think it was against the Bucks. I was like, shit, nigga, Mitch had a good game against the Bucks. Like, we see this with every quarterback we have. Like, they light up a bad team and then we get excited. So, I mean, as far as saying he regressed, though, I don't think that's fair to Caleb because he's still going through his first full season as a starting quarterback. I think, like you say, if we go into year 2 and we start seeing the same, 16-yard sacks and trying to extend the play and not taking the layups. When we start seeing that, or we see him get worse and continue to, have poor deep ball accuracy, and we'll say, okay, now he's regressing. Now, okay, this is getting worse. We see him taking the phantom sacks where, in year 3, we started to see Justin, he would hit that spin move for no fucking reason. Yeah. He would just spin, like, for no reason at all. If we see Caleb start doing that, then we can say he's regressing and developing those bad habits. But right now, he's simply just putting everything on film. Like, it hasn't been a full season yet, so I can't use the word regressing. He's had some bad games, but he beat some bad teams, which is what you want to see a rookie do. That don't mean he was finally arrived at the point where this is the Caleb Williams we expect every Sunday. I don't think we got into that point yet.
And I even say this before we go back. I would say this, like the mistakes we see him making. The only thing that's kind of that might be a little concerning is is a deep ball accuracy. That is concerning a little bit to me, but it's like a lot of stuff. If Caleb just does stuff like extend the play by running or taking, like we talk about Cole Kmet not being targeted. There was like 3 or 4 plays last week that Cole Kmet's wide open for like a 5-yard gain. If he just takes those, I think we're looking at these games differently. So that's why I'm not really that concerned. But it also goes with coaching. A smart coach tells you, take that. You got two idiots who don't know what they're doing. So that's the problem that we have right there.
So on some dude, we got a shirt that says overrated don't mean whack. Because a lot of times when somebody say the term overrated, people assume that you're saying that this person is terrible, this person is whack. No, it just means that this person you think is here, he's probably here. I take that with the same thing as regression. I don't, he's not had a full year tape, but there has been game to game improvement and game to game regression. And there has been game to game regression. And y'all pretty much explained what that regression has been. Can he improve against the New England Patriots? I expect him to improve against the New England Patriots. But then he's going to come against the division, go up against the division, and then we will see what happens there. So I do think there has been game-to-game improvement, game-to-game regression, and for the last 2 weeks, we've seen that regression. Also involved in that regression is, like you said, he's not finding the small gains in order to get the bigger gains. Cole Kmet has been non-existent. He even missed DeAndre Swift on a couple of passes in the flat and in the interior where he could have got him the ball. And those two make plays. As soon as they get the ball, they're going to extend the play more likely than not. Also, what we see a lot of with Caleb Williams is his feet are not set at all. Even during times when the pocket is nice, his feet are not set enough to even make or think about making those long plays that we want to get excited to see him get. So if he's not set when he's throwing a 30-yard pass, of course he's not going to get it. That's all about progression and regression. So yes, you can have week-to-week progress. You can have week-to-week regression. And also part of that is taking those smaller things so you could do what? Gain confidence, gain some momentum, and then you start doing the things right. Now, does that regression involve the coaching staff? You're goddamn right. Does that regression has something to do with the offensive line not being healthy? You goddamn right it does. But it does not take away from the fact that that's there. Now, yes, there is heightened sensitivity when you have Jaden Daniels doing what he's doing. When you have Zach Ertz talking about Jaden Daniels reminds him of Andrew Luck. And when you hear that, you say that Caleb Williams was the best prospect to come out of the draft since who? Andrew Luck. So which one of these motherfuckers is Andrew Luck?
But see, but even with the Jaden Daniels thing, if you put, that's why it's coaching him. If you put Jaden with this coaching staff, he's gonna even be worse than what we see Caleb is. Yeah.
So that's why I said if we want to talk about all of those things outside of Caleb, yes, they have everything to do with this. And this is not an indictment. This is not an indictment on Caleb because I think he's going to be okay. But I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, you can't outplay bad coaching. You can't. So by default, I do believe that there's been some regression, but I'm not putting all of that onus on Caleb because he needs better coaching around him. He needs a coach that's going to tell him, hey, motherfucker, you got Cole ass right there. Take the goddamn shot. Stop trying to win the game on one play. And that's not only an indictment on Shane Waldron and Thomas Brown, that is an indictment on Matt Eberflus. And it feels like to me, if you really want my opinion, here's my opinion. They're coaching that kid too soft. They're coaching that kid too soft and they're coaching that kid too nervous. Because if they were not, I guarantee you that Caleb Williams would be doing the smaller things better to gain the momentum to get where we need to get. And that's why you see the frustration on DJ Moore. That frustration to me is not because of Caleb Williams. That is because when you look at the wide receivers, and we saw this a couple of times against the Cardinals, it was more than likely 2 to 3 wide receivers or pass catchers in the same fucking area at the same damn time. How can you get better when shit like that happens?
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters all the other line, so I'm not gon' hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gon' hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gon' hold you. Money on the other line.